Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Frank's here, Nedum's here, Stevie's here, and Craig Burley is back from his vacation.
I actually should pat myself in the back because I actually thought that a walkout was possible today, live on air. I never thought about quitting live on air. I thought I'll always just go quietly. But some things will push your boundaries.
You made it.
How can you go quietly live on air?
No, I was saying. When the time does come, whenever that is, I don't know, it could be tonight, tomorrow, a year, two, I don't know. Just go quietly. You slip away into the... But
that's what Mariner used to do.
Slip off into the... No statements, no flapping, no self-importance for anybody, because nobody's that important.
That's what Mariner
But quitting on air, that's a little different.
Yep, dipping out without
Club World Cup, not quite today, because we're a little bit... I'd imagine a kind of Pachuca-Salzburg. That's a game, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
That's got quitting on air written all over it.
Okay.
I would say. But of course there will be people at that game employed who will be trying to tell you it's the most exciting thing on the planet.
Doing their jobs.
They're taking the money and they're lying.
Paul Mariner used to be a fan of the sneaky goodbye.
Oh, Paul, aye. Yeah.
Well,
Maris, he wouldn't go around everybody and go, I'll see you later, I'm off, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He would just, at the most, he would say, I'm just going to the toilet, and then you wouldn't see him again. He would just slide away. Then half an hour later, you'd be like, have you seen Paul? You'd be like, I have no idea.
I had a mate like that. I had a mate like that in the UK, in Nottingham, and his nickname was Trapdoor. Because he'd do the exact same thing. You'd be out having a night out.
Next minute, where's he gone?
12 o'clock, whatever it is, going, where is he?
Cinderella.
Yeah.
No, the trapdoor.
No buys. All right, questions.
All right, questions. Yeah, Frank and Nedum are with us as well, but the first question is for you, Craig. Was there ever a time when you were away from the show and you were watching it and somebody said something so egregious that you wish you were there to tell them how bad of a take they had?
Yeah, first line.
Line 1, read it again.
Was there ever a time when you were away from the show and you were watching it?
Read that again.
Stop! Watching it?
Well, it's part of our job, isn't it? To watch ESPN FC every night.
Is it?
Well, now you know.
I must have missed that paragraph.
Now you know.
I had now and again, yes. Not really, no. I mean, there's been the odd time, but he said, I mean, he'll have sat at home, we'll all have sat at home at times and gone, what the hell is he talking about?
Aye.
We've all done it. But yeah, I don't really get that. And when I was in the UK, we don't get it. It's not on in the UK anymore. And I would have given up my free time.
Oh, we bet.
At 6, whatever time it is, to watch.
Would you rather watch ESPN FC when you're not on it or the Club World Cup?
No, FC. I'm not watching that Club World Cup.
OK, for the panel, I'll put this to you, Frank. Xabi Alonso says he expects everyone on the pitch to track back and try to regain the ball. Is that going to be a problem for Mbappe and Vini Jr?
Of course it will be. They don't want to do it, well, I'm talking about Mbappe. He didn't want to do it with any coaches in Paris, including Luis Enrique. And he didn't want to do it last year with Ancelotti, where I thought, going into a new club, he will make that effort. So why he would do it with Xabi Alonso? Unless, as I said during the show, Xabi Alonso has a right to put him on the bench without Florentino Perez getting crazy and extending him. But otherwise, nothing will change.
Nedum, it's the first time in a long time I've seen City so stacked with players. Do you think this will be a good thing for the new players, or are we going to be another Chelsea?
I don't think it's another Chelsea because not really signing 6 and 7 year deals. But it does feel strange to see the squad be that big because we've previously seen them have a good squad. We'd probably find maybe 16, 17 players who Guardiola would use. Whereas now the depth really is there. I think given the amount of injuries that they had last season, but then the players that they brought in the winter window and then the summer window, it does feel like too much. And listening to Pep talk about how the squad's almost unmanageable, I can kind of see it now based on the players that were just on the bench today, for example. But I don't think it's like a Chelsea situation. But I wouldn't be surprised if maybe 3 or 4 players left in this summer window before the next season starts.
Which player's career, guys, is at the biggest crossroads? Grealish, Rashford or Sancho?
Got to be Rashford, isn't it?
He's gone back to United, right? Have I missed something in my travels?
Wait, missed everything.
Yeah, but he's not signed for Villa, I don't believe.
Correct.
So he's having to go back to which can only be described as a toxic atmosphere between him and Ruben Amorim and the club. What was it he said? I'd rather play the bus driver or something like that than play Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
And Marcus Rashford, who, whether he was right or wrong at United, when he went to Villa, he had an impact. And he was better, there's no doubt about that. The crossroads for him now is where he goes. I actually think Jack Grealish is at a real crossroads. Because, I mean, yeah, I do, because I think he's just fallen off so far. I think Rashford's situation is more difficult.
Right.
I think Grealish will find a club if he is one of those players that, as Nedum said he will need to get some players out. If Grealish is one of them, I think he'll find a club. I think Rashford's issue is how he figures it out with the money and the transfers.
Frank's shaking his head. I don't know what at. Frank?
Because I think for me, Sancho. I mean, he has proven throughout the last 2 years that he didn't find his football back, that he doesn't know where he stands, that the money that he received and the transfer fee that he was above his head was too high for his shoulders, and therefore he will have to make very good decisions in order to get back into the football. Meaning maybe he will have to cut his fee, go maybe with a less ambitious big club to regain confidence. But that's I'm not sure he's ready to, like any other players in this era, to make those sacrifices.
The reason I would say Grealish or Rashford is because I think their ceiling is higher. I think Jadon Sancho has got a talent, but I think the other two are potentially better players at a higher standard. I think Sancho has kind of petered out at a certain level. The other two have shown they can go way above that level, but they've both dropped, and I think that's why I would go with one of those two.
Nedum's interior decorator says, for my client, which City player do you expect to have a breakout performance during the Club World Cup?
A breakout performance. That's a tough one to read. I think you kind of want to see something from the new signings, and I thought today Reinders looked quite good. So maybe him, yeah. But to be honest, I'll change that. I'll go for Cherki. I think if Ryan Cherki performs to his best and you can see him improve, and I think we're going to be seeing City have one of the best attacking talents in European football. And if he fits in with that side and links with those players around him, the sky's the limit for him. So I'd say Ryan Cherki. Okay.
For Stevie, are you satisfied with the Liverpool defence for their upcoming title defence?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think every club in the Premier League would have signed Kerkez if they got the chance, if they were able to. Frimpong's a bit different, but don't forget you got Bradley there. So depending on what happens with Frimpong, you've always got Bradley who can do both jobs. He can go forward and he can defend. And you've still got the partnership from last season, and Kanate and Virgil van Dijk with Alisson in goal. And you've got Kashvili pushing Alisson in goal. So yeah, I think defensively they look solid.
For everyone, we've seen several players complaining about the weather. What's the worst weather you've played in?
Well,
in terms of heat,
cold and wet weather in Scotland. But in terms of heat, Washington DC, World Cup warm-up matches, end of May, beginning of June, and DC at the old stadium down there, which I can't remember the name, the old Washington Stadium.
RFK.
Yeah,
RFK, shocking. You can't breathe.
It was hot.
Boiling.
It was hot, Doc.
We went with Real Madrid just as reporters, and everyone warned us, get some water, get this, you need to be careful in there.
Imagine having to do 90 minutes on there.
I would have hated it. It was awful just standing there.
Awful. I was knackered there as well when I was sat on the bench coaching the team. In terms of Mexico, World Cup, Mexico, I think we kicked off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, you can't run. Well, tell her that. You can run, you can have a burst, but then it takes you 5 minutes to recover before you're able to have another burst. But fortunately, everybody was in the same boat on both sides. So you kind of got away with it. But yeah, it was madness. Madness.
Nedum?
And having played in America like Stevie as well, playing in places like Florida, even in like Kansas City and such in the summer is so difficult.
Dallas is fun, Nedum, isn't it?
Play games during daytime, so I think some of these teams they're playing in the Club World Cup. Oh my gosh, goodness gracious me! So yeah, when you're playing like for the Club World Cup during the daytime as well, that's as tough as it gets. But I think my worst one was in 2012. We actually went on a pre-season tour to Malaysia and Indonesia. And it was like 40 degrees. The humidity felt like it was 100%. That's as tough a condition as I've ever had to play in. And I think I've only just stopped sweating now, 13 years on.
Frank, what about you?
Definitely in Qatar. I played when the first time I went there. We had to train even at 9 p.m. It was like 40 degrees at 9 p.m., which is like 110 degrees, I would say. In Fahrenheit, and I had to run with a pack of ice. I mean, I had a headache like that. That was insane. It's crazy because you get used to it. 2 years after, I had to play the Emmy Cup, same weather. 9 p.m. We played 2 hours the final, and I could run without without suffering. But the first, let's say, month, that was awful.
Okay.
Well, nobody feels sorry for you, Frank.
Oh no, I don't ask you to feel sorry. That's all right.
You took the money. You knew what you were going for, didn't you? Hey.
Yeah, that wasn't the point. That wasn't the question. That wasn't the point. You know, it wasn't the balance of suffering and million. That wasn't something. That the question wasn't about that. You know.
Oh, I had to run with ice in my hand. I'm putting all the money in the bank. Oh, bit ice.
Oh, that's it. Just remember, tomorrow will be 24 days.
Well, I don't count that.
Okay.
I'm not in. I'm only actually, it's 25 days to the end of this Mickey Mouse tournament, but that's 25 days of watching games if you watch a game every day.
So you only count the days that you watch?
If you think the days that I'm not working, I'm watching that guff, find me a person that will. Find me a person that will. Don. Hey, we've got there's 3 people that work on this show. They've all gone to take the coin.
I know.
McManaman, Luis Garcia, who'd got the opening of a packet of chips, and Don. Wow, Don's probably paid them.
Kieran Gibbs.
If Don wasn't commentating,
Gibbs is doing it as well.
No, he's not.
I think he is. I actually do think I saw some pictures of him doing it, yeah, down in Miami.
The thing with Don is if Don wasn't actually commentating... Has
anybody told Kieran Gibbs that he's doing it? Does he know that he's doing it?
If Don wasn't commentating, you know he's watching it.
He's gone to it. No, he's gone to it.
Do you want me on today, Pete? Yeah. I'll come on and talk about Inter.
They're all there saying, oh, isn't this fantastic, this Club World Cup. If they were playing, they'd be moaning like hell. Oh, we should be on holiday. Oh, we shouldn't be doing this.
Put the ball away, Don.
Don's walking around with his ball under his arm.
Really looking forward to this one. 25 days.
We will continue to talk about the
13th of July.
Every day on ESPN FC. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. Please send all questions, Club World Cup ones included, here to Extra Time. See you next time.